Hello and welcome to the Parrish IT podcast.
We've got a treat, Craig. Backed by popular man, we have Travis Disbro from BDC. He's here to talk to us about drones.
We got
Welcome
several
back,
calls
Travis.
this week
Yeah,
about
yeah.
him and
It was
having
like
him come
yesterday,
back.
or even this morning when we had him here last.
It's fantastic.
Glad to be back.
We're glad to have you.
Thanks.
So let's talk about drones and some of the services that we provide. Travis, can you go through those? What services that we're providing with drones?
Yeah, I think a lot of what we're doing now is, taking manual photos and videos for marketing purposes, maybe some photos for weekly reports, that sort of thing. I don't know if you guys have seen anything else outside of, down here that maybe Roswell's not doing.
No, I know we are doing at Howard a predefined flight path for a future time-lapse video that we can do where the drone does the same flight path every week or month. Or
Right, yeah, whenever we want to. Yeah, you can basically save your points for the images instead of trying to fly there manually and remember how high you were and what angle and all that. We're able to program all those things into a software, so you're repeating that same flight pattern and you're getting a consistent picture every week, or you could take it every day or however often you want, but it gives you that consistent view of your job site. So then at the end of the day, yeah, if we do want to stitch them all together, you can kind of create a time-lapse video of all those individual pictures that you've taken.
Okay. I know we've also done some interior videos. The drones we're using now, the DJI Mavics, they're smaller and they work well indoors where the older ones didn't. And you can do a flight through a school hallway or something without too much trouble and get a nice interior walkthrough.
Yeah, they're a lot more portable. They fold up now. They're not 4 feet wide anymore. They can fold up into a small little, basically kind of a miniature backpack you can carry around.
All right. Another use I've seen you do is topographies. You've done a topography using a drone, almost got a 3D model.
Yeah, so we're able to, again, with the software that is really compatible with, I think, most of all the DJI stuff that we're using. You're able to basically take hundreds or thousands of pictures, depending on how big your site is, and kind of stitch those all together to create one large image. You can have a top-down view that has a really high level of detail where you can zoom in and see whatever you need to in that, and it's also at the same time can create a 3D model of basically a point cloud, kind of like a laser scanner would, to give you some. You can take dimensions, you can get context of things like you were talking about grade, so we can tell. I don't know if you've seen in Google Earth, you have the ability to kind of pick 2 points, and along that point it'll show you what the elevation or the grade change is. We can do the same thing using the drones, just a lot more accurate that way, and it's from exactly when you flew it, as opposed to Google Earth may have been last year or 2 years ago, or however old those images are.
That lets you know like cut fill too, is right?
Yeah, we've done it if maybe we know what somebody wants the finished grade to be, but we have an old survey or we're not sure of the accuracy of what's there right now. We can get a great idea of what the existing conditions are, and then use that to compare against the proposed and do cut fill. We've done that a few different places here, kind of design build sort of scenarios where maybe it's just us looking at it and we want to try to balance the site for an owner that is at a conceptual pricing phase.
Cool. Travis, I've heard of drones being used for as-built conditions. Can you give us an example of how that might work?
Yeah, so we're able to, I guess, kind of what we were talking about before. If maybe we're doing a renovation, or a lot of times we maybe talk about roof rework, or maybe we're doing part of a school but not the other part. We've done it in a couple cases where, again, you're able to take hundreds or thousands of these photos with the drone, as opposed to you trying to manually take them with your phone or something like that. So we can get the exact conditions before we go out there on site of maybe paving or sidewalks or a roof that, I'm sure nobody at the end of the day is going to blame anything on us we didn't do or touch or try to say
Right.
that that was like that. Oh, that was like that when it wasn't like that when you got here.
Yep.
But we're able to do some of those things from a risk management standpoint and get a time stamped. This is exactly what those conditions are up front.
So switching gears here, talking about services, let's go to pilot requirements. What is required in order to pilot a drone?
Requirements are you basically need to take a certification. So you need to go take a test if you're going to be doing it for any commercial use, which is a pretty broad term as far as the FAA is concerned. I know it's even if you had a YouTube channel and you're getting any sort of monetary return on that or advertisements, that's enough to count as a commercial use. So everything we're doing with it is definitely considered commercial use. So what that amounts to is, we talked about it a little bit at the company meeting. There's a ton of different ways that you can go about that. We have a online training class that you can log into and breaks it down into a bunch of easily digestible modules that'll help you get prepared for that test. And then basically schedule a test. You got to go to a certified testing center, take the test, pass, some documentation after that, but those are kind of the steps to get that certification and get everybody up to speed.
So then you can just take any drone and start flying for Parrish.
Not exactly.
So how does that work then?
So the other component is each drone needs to be registered with the FAA as well. So there's a component for a pilot and your equipment. So we need to make sure that we're meeting both of those moving forward.
So that brings up our policy on drones, and basically the drones are purchased through the IT department, either myself or Travis. We assign them to the groups, and what I mean by groups is the project directors, because they know the jobs that need recorded. And Travis kind of manages right now who's using them and where and all that. And if you would like to fly, get with Travis about learning how to be licensed to fly. And then the PMs will let you use the drone. The project directors will get with you on flying the job and getting it done. Some of the other stuff, the topographies and as-builts, Travis has been doing those, but he can also train you on that. You want to talk about that a little bit?
You want to touch on drone deploy?
Yeah.
Just throw it out there. I'm sure a lot of people haven't heard it, but it's basically a software that we're using that automates a lot of these features that we talked about. So it's not a complicated process. If you're already flying with the DJI app or things like that, you're familiar with the controls. We can help get you set up with drone deploy and start getting you on those flights that you can continuously, once a week or every time you go to your job site do, and you get that kind of time stamp of exactly what's going on our jobs. So it's been really successful on the ones that we've done so far, and hopefully people call and ask how they can do it on theirs.
All right.
Good.
Well, Travis, we really appreciate you coming, especially the past 2 weeks. It's been really good.
Good stuff.
Great information. We'll probably have you back. We'll go into a little bit more depth here, maybe in the future, but it's been good 2 weeks. Appreciate it.
Yep, absolutely. As always, hit that thumbs up button if you liked what you heard. Send us some feedback. Let us know what you'd like to hear about next time. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.